So hello again, all the Bengals fans and NFL fanatics out there who have shocked me by subscribing, and I'm very happy for that. I wanted to take and do a video on my opinion on how chaotic and everything this past season was. I mean, week 1 through week 18, there was injuries, there was standout players that I think shocked everybody, in my opinion. For starters, I mean, what shocked me the most was Aaron Rodgers going down. That,
3 snaps in?
something like that, yeah. I mean, his
That's
first game, that's
a curse on the Jets. Something.
right. I was
There was
just
so
like,
much hype. I feel bad
Yeah.
for him. I'm not really a Jets fan, but
I'm not either, but to go through all of that, all the trades, all the talks and everything, and him going into his dark space or
His retreat
his
thing, yeah.
retreat just to get his mind right, which applaud him for doing that. I mean,
he does it every year. It seems a little
Well-
weird, but hey, whatever works. I mean,
if it works for him, awesome.
that's up to him. I'm not
My thing
putting down
is
for
like
it.
all that hype and all the news and everything going on about him, and then his first game, he goes out there and like 3 or 4 snaps in, he goes down.
Yeah, I really felt bad for them.
I really did.
But I was surprised how well they did end the season. I was bringing up
Yeah.
everyone's record because I couldn't remember exactly
Yeah.
where they ended up.
right,
I gotta scroll
but
through here and see. Jets 7-10.
that's not bad.
You know, you think about that. If Rodgers had played, let's say they only won 4 more games.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a darn good record.
they'd have made the playoffs.
Yeah, they would have. And I mean, the other
Been what,
injuries,
11-6,
yeah, something like
11-6.
Yeah, you do better with numbers than I do.
Not today. It's a Sunday afternoon, and I'm half asleep.
Tell me about it. I am too. I have to go to work tomorrow, so yeah, I'm doing great. But no, it just like it shocked me the amount of injuries that happened in the first half of the season.
Oh, just
Yeah.
I mean, you
between
had
Cousins and who
Burrows was injured. Really, you could say the whole season.
the whole season.
His
yes,
first few games, you could tell that calf injury. He was not.
he was not the
himself.
same. He was not himself, and I looked it up. He tweaked it again during week 2.
And
So-
then his wrist.
And then his wrist popped, something in the ligament
That's-
or whatever. So
Such a shame. I hope he does not end up one of those quarterbacks that's
constantly getting injured.
that's injury prone.
I
'Cause he's
do
got a
not-
lot of talent,
He does.
and the whole team does.
And I've heard other quarterbacks from other teams saying how great Burrow is in his demeanor and how they're impressed with
How he plays.
how he plays, and like nothing gets to him.
Well, I
When
mean, you
it's
had
game
what-
time, his game face is on.
I'm looking at your list over there. You
Yeah.
know, Kirk Cousins, the Vikings,
Right.
out. There's a
Yeah.
team right there that could
Could
very
have.
easily have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Watson with the Browns. This is one that I go back and forth.
Okay.
And look, I know a lot of people don't like Deshaun Watson, and there's a lot of things there with a lot of the legal stuff, and I'm not getting into all that.
No. Just focus on
Did-
him as a player.
With him in,
Yeah.
would they have had a better season, the same season, or a worse season?
Season.
I don't watch a lot of the Browns games. We see some,
You're right. We get what we
and
get.
I think Flacco did an amazing job for them.
Yeah. He
He
came
didn't
back.
do so well in
and
the playoffs, which seems to be kind of
that's got to be a trend because Jackson did amazing. Lamar Jackson did amazing.
in the regular season.
In the
It's
regular
really struggled
season.
in the playoffs.
Once the playoffs
The
hit,
pressure's higher. You're now playing
Yes.
against the
the
best
of
teams
the,
left.
Right.
You know, even the worst team that makes the playoffs is better than the other teams in their division.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
so even if they're not a great team, they're better than the other three in their division, probably. 'Cause,
Right.
You know, well,
It
two of them
just-
at least.
It was uncanny for
The one that I think, for me,
what's that?
that I was most disappointed about not getting to see a full season out of him was Richardson with the Colts.
Yeah.
I watched him in college some. I was impressed. I really, I'm like, this guy with a year or two of playing, I think
right.
could become really good.
It just
And he didn't get the chance.
He didn't get the chance to.
Hopefully this year we see.
Hopefully, all these QBs come back and they come back swinging
Yeah.
because
Herbert,
Herbert,
there's a chance the Chargers
mean,
could have made the playoffs.
yeah,
Or,
even
did they? I'm sorry, I cannot remember.
Chargers. I don't believe made the playoffs. No,
Sure, no, they were 5-12. Never mind.
it was
I don't know why
Jacksonville.
I get them mixed up. I think it's because I get them mixed up with the Rams because they both play in L.A.
Oh, yeah,
Listen, I
could
am
be.
so tired today. I should be in bed, but I got so much stuff I still got to do.
Yeah. But no, I mean Jones went down.
Well, yeah, there's one
Herbert,
right there.
and
Jones, I don't know.
He's
I
hit or
haven't been
miss.
impressed. I have not been impressed with him.
And my brother probably would agree
Yeah,
with
her
you.
brother is a huge Giants fan. And I'm not saying he was happy that somebody got injured, but I almost think he's like, well, it can't get any worse
Worse
with
than-
somebody else in there.
Right,
And he
exactly.
would know better. He's been a football fan longer than I have, and he really
Right.
loves his Giants.
Yeah,
And
I mean, like I said in the other video, one of my first videos is that I grew up a Giants fan. That's what we watched, and yeah, a lot of seasons it was disappointment and
but
all
they
that.
also,
But they also went on.
they had the
and-
2 Super Bowl wins against the
yeah,
Patriots.
exactly, and that.
I think other than just QBs getting hurt, Nick Chubb going down with the Browns.
Oh, that hurt
Man,
that
had
bad.
he been there with Flacco in the playoffs, where's the chance that they would have been continuing
yeah,
on?
Exactly.
How far?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But
Nobody knows for
Tank
sure.
Dell with
Tank
the
Dell,
Texans.
yeah.
Could that have been a difference for the Texans? I mean, there's so many. It just seemed like this year, every time you turned around,
There
major
was-
players were going down.
I mean, you check on the game, another game or whatever on TV, and all of a sudden they're going to an injury commercial,
Yeah, somebody else.
and then they come back and the players getting carted off the field.
An ACL or a Achilles. Well, it was Cousins and Rogers both tore their Achilles.
Yeah.
And I thought there was one other that did, or another player that did.
I don't.
But
I don't know.
or they might have thought it was, and it turned out not to be. I don't remember, but
There were so many injuries that
I mean, I worked-
nobody can keep them
I
straight.
played sports in high school. I played soccer, not football. I spent 13 years as a firefighter and medic,
Yeah.
and I was medical with the military.
Yeah.
And I don't remember ever going and dealing with that many Achilles tendons in 1 year.
Yeah.
2. I don't ever. It's
mean-
not something that. Obviously, it's more of a sports thing. Yeah, you can do it anytime.
Right.
But,
But
we also covered sports events, and I just don't ever remember them.
right.
But they're
And-
also two of the older players. I mean, Rodgers, I think, is the oldest QB playing in the NFL right now.
yeah, I
He's
think
40.
so.
And I think Cousins is late
30s?
37, 8, something like that.
something like that.
Makes you
But-
wonder how Brady did it for all those years.
Yeah.
Really, really good O-line.
Yeah, exactly. You
That might have been part of it.
you get the really good old line around you, then you're gonna look good. You're not gonna.
So what players surprised you the most, good or bad?
I would have to say the first two that
Yep.
by far come to mind. Obviously, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
The hype around all the talk and everything that I heard about Bryce Young going in and dominating and this and that. Now, I'm not putting all the blame on him because his rookie year, I mean, you've got jitters, you've got.
And he's also on a team that, while they have some very good players,
Yeah,
they have a lot of issues. And I think there's a lot of coaching, maybe. I don't know if coaching was the biggest part.
I don't know.
They just,
The team didn't mesh well. I did not see. It seemed like there was a lot of miscommunications in the games that I did watch.
Having
or
watched-
was able to.
Young play in college.
Right.
He played well, and he did obviously very well in college. Before the draft even happened, said, I don't know how this guy's going to do in the NFL. I really don't. Because
Right.
his style of play to me just,
Didn't
I have
seem
a
like
belief
it
that
fit.
a rookie quarterback coming in almost always needs 2 years to be behind a quarterback that, even if that
Yeah.
quarterback isn't like an elite QB,
Right.
but is somebody that can pass knowledge on and work with them. A really
Right.
good QB coach,
Yeah.
trainer,
Yeah.
everything like that to get. I mean, the games are so different, and there's rules that are different for college and NFL. Mm-hmm. When
Yeah,
you
there
play,
is.
let me break it down real quick if you don't mind. When you play in high school,
Yeah.
you're playing against this pool of players,
Yeah, exactly.
and you know they're some are really good and some aren't so good, but that's what you've got.
Right.
When you go on to college, especially like D1 top tier colleges like Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, you know, those types of teams,
Right. Yeah.
you're now playing in a pool that's now trying to get in. You know, instead of a pool of high school,
Right.
you're in a pool of players like this. It's the best of the best out of high school.
Right. Exactly.
And you can shine there. You go to the NFL,
It gets even
you're
smaller.
playing against the best of the best of the best.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that means he has the best receivers he's probably ever going to have. But he's also got the best defense coming after him.
Yeah.
And if his receivers or his O-line or
eh.
him are not top notch,
Yeah.
he's
and-
going to get eaten up.
Oh God, yeah. And my whole thing is like communications. Yeah, they're calling the QBs yelling out the play or this and that. It's like you were forever seeing receivers going like this after they drop the ball or
I think he was nervous,
yeah.
and rightfully so. I'd be
Yeah,
crapping
of
my
course.
pants out there.
I know you would.
I mean, I'm not.
But to see out of him and Stroud, to see Stroud come out
Stroud was an
and-
anomaly. In
and
the
just
sense of,
holy,
yeah.
like
let-
he showed no nerves,
Right. They went through a little bit of a rough patch, lost some games.
and that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's that anomaly of like I said, usually a QB needs a couple of years
Yeah,
behind a really good.
right,
Stroud proved that not everybody needs that.
exactly.
He came out and he was like, I got this.
Yeah.
I also think he was on a better team and a much better coached team.
Right,
I think D'Amico Ryan is an amazing coach.
Yeah.
He's up for Coach of the Year.
yeah,
There's several of them are. I think it's really Coach of the Year comes down to him and Dan Campbell.
yeah.
To me. And
Yeah,
I wouldn't
'cause
be upset
that-
with
that
either
was
one that
another-
wins.
Another team that surprised us was the Lions coming out swinging the way that they did.
Well, the Texans were what, like won 3 games last year, I think it was.
Right, yeah.
To
'Cause
go
they-
from that
to
to
going into the playoffs,
yeah, well they made it to the divisional round.
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, because they won the wild card game, then made it to the divisional round.
right.
Yeah, I won 3 games last year. Now I'm in the divisional round,
Hello.
and that's why I think that C.J. Stroud should probably be in the talks for MVP.
Yeah,
I really think him and Christian McCaffrey are 2
that, and I think his name is nominated for Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah, Rookie of the
Any-
Year. I don't
any
think you can
number of
argue
them.
that Rookie of the Year.
Now,
else?
right?
There's been some great rookies. Sam Laporta
Yeah,
for the Lions. Is it Gibbs? I think Gibbs of Montgomery. One of them, I think, was a rookie this year. One of their running backs.
yeah.
There's a bunch of them out there.
There's a lot of these players
Man.
that came into the league this year that really surprised me, good or bad. Well, I mean, another one was Browning. When Burrow went out, Browning came out and he was put into a situation where the O-line knows Burrow and knows
Well, all of them,
his
even your
style,
receivers are used to.
are so used to everything, and then you got Browning trying to adjust his style
To them,
to them,
and them to him.
I just think
I think he did very, very well.
he did very well given
Given
the
what he had. Yep.
yeah, given the
He
circumstances.
gave them a chance. They didn't make it, but they wasn't like they were
Unfortunately,
eliminated, earlier in the season.
Right.
It come down to the last couple games
Yeah.
where they had a shot.
Right, they had a shot, and
I'm not gonna lie, the Bengals have a few things that they need to.
yeah,
They
I'll
need
be
some
a,
defensive help, and they need some
some offense.
O-line
Yeah.
help, and
yeah, they do.
hopefully they can keep most of their receivers. And
I
stuff.
hope so too. I pray that they do.
So what do you think of
'Cause
Jordan Love? We watched him play quite a bit.
I think he did awesome for being, yeah, he's been in the NFL for a while, but to be a backup and then all of a sudden say, oh, I'm a starter now.
Because he
Oh, crap.
did that like 3 years behind Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly. So he had Rodgers to train
And
with.
it was, not pretty the first few games.
No,
There
it
was some-
wasn't.
there were some games they lost that,
Yeah.
boy, he should. There were some throws he made that you're like, why did you throw that?
Exactly.
And those are rookie mistakes. And people say, well, he's not a rookie. Well, he isn't a rookie in the sense of, this
being
is my first year in the NFL.
ever.
But it's his first year as a starter.
Yeah, being a first year starter, in my opinion, is almost like being
A
a
rookie.
first year rookie in the NFL.
When you come in as the backup in a game,
Yeah,
because let's say your team's, way up,
yeah,
you're going to throw him in. The pressure is big on you to look good
right,
and,
right.
and to learn, but the game isn't on your shoulders.
No,
Because if things start getting away a little bit, they're just going to put the starter back in. and go.
Right,
When you are the starter, it's not
Yeah.
only on you to look good and perform well,
Right,
that whole game
right.
is on your shoulders.
exactly.
Because, and I don't agree with this, but win or lose, people tend to blame the QB.
Yeah,
Or give the QB the credit, and it's not always that case.
No, it's
And I know
not.
that QB stats don't always take wins into account, because
Right.
there's a lot that goes onto it. I mean, if you got a QB that puts up, an offense that puts up 38 points in a game and you lose, well, that's your defense really
yeah,
needs
exactly.
to
So
answer a few things.
I look at it as that it can be. I've always looked at it as it's the whole team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just one player that is at fault or should be
Right.
celebrated.
I mean, if your QB throws 5 or 6 picks,
okay, yeah,
your
all
QB
right,
is like, what's going on? But
right,
still, Love, I thought, come out and played well.
yeah,
Managed the game well, figured things out well, adjusted well, and pushed them to the divisional round.
exactly.
Yeah,
He did
again, in a year that was supposed to be a rebuild year for the Packers,
right.
and a lot of Packers fans that we know were like, if we have a winning season,
We're happy.
yeah, if we win, half our games,
Yeah, we'll be happy.
or even just get close to 500.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of people that were very upset with Joe Barry, their defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it was a good idea they got rid of him.
Yeah.
God, I can never remember his name. The guy they just brought in, he was the head coach for Boston College down here.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. I can't
um,
remember his name.
And I don't know how he does as a defensive.
I don't know. I don't follow.
Believe it or not, even though we don't live that far, I mean, we're in southern Maine, we're not that far from Boston. We don't get a lot of Boston College games.
No, we don't.
I don't know why.
I don't know. We get a lot
I
of
think a
West
lot of it
Coast
is
college
because
games.
their games just don't, unless they're playing one of the big teams,
Yeah.
it doesn't always get put on. Now, sometimes when they're playing like UMaine, it's
We'll
on
get- yeah,
one of our
we'll get
local
it.
channels, or
Right.
at least a replay of it.
Right.
I mean, which, let's face it, they usually beat UMaine. So,
Well, yeah, but I mean,
love you, Black Bears, but we're just not in that league.
no, we're
Just
not.
not.
We're just not.
Although there's some, Maine Black Bears have gone on and played in the NFL and done fairly well.
Yeah.
Um,
But nah, it just this whole season was just chaos. I mean, teams you thought were gonna come in and dominate didn't really dominate.
I really, really was surprised. I expected the Browns, like I said, losing Watson may have had something to do with that. I expected them to come in and they did well. I'm not saying they didn't.
Right.
I really expected
right.
them to be a little more dominant because they've got just an amazing defense. They have
Yeah.
stellar defense. Another team I thought might do a little better, and I got laughed at by some people with this, was the Broncos. I didn't expect the Broncos to come out there and win their division because they're in the same division as the Chiefs and stuff. But
Right.
I thought they might do a little bit better. The Seahawks was another one.
Yeah.
The Jags.
Yeah, Jacksonville Jags, they were hit or miss this year.
They start the season off good,
Great,
and they
and
don't
then-
end it well.
Yeah.
But they had injuries, too.
Yeah, Lawrence had high ankle sprain.
I think, really, the Ravens, who always seem to be injury riddled,
Yeah.
for the most part, they kept a lot of their players.
Yeah, they kept a lot of their starting players.
There's
I
a team that surprised me how dominant they were. Not that they didn't have the talent to be. Something's popping up. Sorry about that.
But-
Not that they didn't have. I
Good Lord.
don't know how to just kill notifications. Holy water and a wooden stake through its heart. Something.
Something like that. But
I think I was a little surprised at how dominant they were until the playoffs.
yeah.
That was a close game, their first game. Mm-hmm. And then, let's face it, the Chiefs are a damn good team.
Yes, they
May
are.
not be a huge fan of the Chiefs, and I want to clarify that I don't dislike the Chiefs. I don't hate the Chiefs.
No, neither do I.
Mahomes is probably the best QB playing right now.
Right now, yes.
May go on to be the best it's ever played. Time will tell. I don't have a crystal ball.
Right.
Travis
exactly.
Kelce's amazing, and they have
Yeah.
amazing players. They have an amazing coach.
Yeah.
I would say Andy Reid is one of the greatest coaches
God, yeah.
of all time.
Yeah, he is.
What I get upset with about the Chiefs isn't the team. It seems like every time we watch a game, the announcers are talking about how great the Chiefs are, even though they're not playing in the game.
Yeah, it's this massive hype that's going around, and that just
Let's focus on these
drives
two
me
teams.
crazy. I mean, there was one game, I can't remember who was playing, but we had it, and I'm watching it, and these commentators are talking about this and that, and the Chiefs. I ended up muting
Yeah.
and just watching the game on silent.
Was it
just-
Romo or one of the? I can't remember who it
I
is. It's
can't.
so-
Well, probably.
just
But it was
Right
just,
in love with
well,
Mahomes.
Mahomes this, and Mahomes would have done it. Okay, but
they're not playing.
they're not playing, so
And it's one thing to
let's-
compare things.
exactly. Well, in
Once
this
in a while.
situation, Mahomes would have probably done it this way, or
Right.
Burrow would have done it this way.
Or Dak, or whoever.
Whoever.
But when it's the whole game.
It's the whole 3 hour.
They're a phenomenal team. And,
They are.
And, I'm pulling for San Francisco in
I am too.
the Super Bowl, not to root so much against the
Chiefs,
I want to see
but-
the 49ers win one. I want to see Brock Purdy win a Super Bowl
Right, in his second
in
year.
his second year.
That, I want to see the reaction of Kittle.
George Kittle's insane. He's funny. He's
He is a
not
riot.
well in the
And
head.
I saw a thing that popped up on one of my news feeds on whatever, that when they won and said that, we're going to be in the Super Bowl, he got a text message from his grandmother, who's like 102 years old.
Something.
And she watches the games and all this stuff, and she is still so tech savvy that she sends him a text after every
I wonder if somebody
thing.
else typed it in and she just told him what to say. But,
Could be
and
that,
I'm not saying she
but-
didn't send it, but
Nowadays, you never know. But
Well,
no,
I-
that's what I want to see. I want to see
I want to see a good game. That's what I want.
exactly. I want to see a fair, good
A
game.
fair game, a good game.
And
I hate games that come down to it and everybody's sitting there saying a bad call might have changed that game. We'll never know now.
yeah,
That I don't like to see. You're going to have bad calls. You're going to have calls that go for
Right,
this team.
you're
You're going to
gonna
have
have
calls that go
some-
for that team.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, why was that flag thrown? Why, what is
Fans of
going
each
on?
team are always going to say, "Oh, we got screwed by the refs." That's all.
That's just the fan bases,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And then I have nothing against any fan base
Nope.
in the NFL. I don't. I mean, it's all, a lot of it. What?
Wow.
What are you?
Nothing.
Oh, good Lord.
Some damn Bengals fans. I'm telling you.
Hey, hey.
Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah,
I have to
you're,
live with one.
you're married to one.
Yeah, I know.
So,
She's mean.
I am not.
So I think teams that surprised me
Yes.
in like I said, good and bad. Packers doing as well as they did was a bit of a surprise this year, and it's not. Again, I like the Packers. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I
was
just
a
didn't
rebuild
expect
year.
it.
Yeah.
They have the youngest roster in the NFL,
Yeah.
and a quarterback that's first year starting. Like I said, I kind of expect them to go about 500 or maybe just over, maybe just miss out on a wild card.
Yeah.
The Lions.
The Lions came out, and yeah, I agree with that.
I was so happy when they won their division.
Oh God, yeah.
I was so happy when they won their first playoff game then.
Our son was through the roof.
They played the Niners in a game that I think they should have won.
They should have won, but
They didn't, so that, you know.
things happened
Yep.
in
they
that
didn't.
game
The Niners
in the
came out
second
and-
half.
Second half and played lights out and well, however you want to word it, came out and played better.
Yeah.
And won, and that rightfully so.
Exactly.
But the Lions could have had that game.
Yeah, I don't feel as though in that game there was any bad calls
Well,
or
people,
things
yeah.
like that.
Oh, as far as the refs go, I don't really remember any that stuck out to me.
No.
People are saying that Dan Campbell made some bad play calls. Dan Campbell is aggressive.
Yeah,
He's going for it on fourth downs a lot. He's going for big plays.
yeah,
He knows
and
that
in,
against a team like the 49ers, he's got to put points up.
yeah, and in that situation with, everything on the line, for him to do that, I think any coach, in my opinion, would have gone in and done that.
I also think he realizes that his weak link was his defense.
Yeah.
Now, his defense played amazing in the first half.
Yes.
But the Lions' defense has kind of been their weak link. It's been good a lot of games,
And then.
but it's been so-so in some games.
Yeah.
And I think he was like, I've got to score more points.
In
Because
order,
he knew the
yeah.
second half that Shanahan,
Yeah.
being as good a coach as he is, and the Niners
Right.
being as good a team as they
They are.
we're going to
Yeah.
make adjustments.
Yeah.
And he needed that lead. Had he got, he went for it on like 4th and 1,
Yeah.
and they didn't get it. Had they gotten that, and I think they would have got the touchdown
Yeah.
in the preceding one, they'd have won that game by 4. Now, if he had
Yeah.
kicked the field goal and got it, it would have been tied and gone into overtime.
Right.
Who knows what would have happened?
Who would have known?
But the momentum was on the Niners side, so
Yeah.
there was a few plays there that just,
Okay, so in your opinion, what other team? You've heard mine.
well, like I said, Packers, Lions, as far as being really surprising how well that they did.
Yeah.
Teams that I think did worse than I expected. Patriots.
Yeah.
I did not expect the Patriots to go out there and win the division and do super well.
right.
But I did not expect the absolute collapse that was the New England
happened.
Patriots this year.
Because that was a shock too.
I
Yeah.
expected them to probably end up missing the playoffs,
Right,
but,
but
I
at least
expected at least
having
like
having a better record
again,
than
around
what
a
they
500,
ended. Yeah,
just over 500 season.
than what they ended with.
They have no offense. Their
No.
both quarterbacks they have are, I think Zappi's better than I am tired. Daniel Jones, what was that?
Mac Jones
Mac Jones. Daniel Jones is
is Giants.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think Zappi's a little bit better, but he's still, both of them are too young and
Right.
haven't had the chance to
They're
sit behind a top
Not.
grade quarterback. They
Yeah.
don't have the best receivers. They've got a decent defense, but you also had a coach who was a mastermind at defense.
Right.
I mean, Belichick is a defensive coach.
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a defensive coach. He's not a coach right now, and I don't know if he ever will be again. It may be time for him to just
Yeah,
retire.
that was a surprise
I
that,
think a lot of teams are looking to go younger.
yeah,
I mean, he's 71, 72.
something, yeah,
And
he's
it's
in
not,
his seventies,
it's,
but
it's not a slam against him.
no.
I
he's-
think they're looking for coaches that can relate to the players better. And it's
Right.
hard for a 70-something-year-old guy sometimes to relate to a 22 or 24-year-old guy coming out of college.
Yeah,
If you got a
exactly.
coach that's 35,
They
they're
can
close enough in age
that they can, they may have a common ground on other things, you know, and develop
think
that
Belichick
trust.
developing coaches may not be a bad thing.
Right, yeah,
But I think another team that I thought was gonna, obviously the Jets I thought was gonna do better, but with Rodgers going down, I really expected more from the Cowboys.
yeah,
And I know that every year the Cowboys fans, this is our year, and it
you know,
never seems
honestly,
to work out.
I kind of say that about the Bengals, but
I just
I don't know if I'm cursing them.
I didn't
or not.
watch a
I'll
lot of
stop
their
saying
games,
that.
but I was kind of underwhelmed on some of their games.
Yeah, it wasn't a wow factor.
The
It
Eagles
was-
is another one.
Yeah.
These are teams that made it to playoffs. Just didn't. They struggled.
Yeah, they
The
struggled.
Bills.
Yeah.
I like the Bills.
I mean, I hate to say it, even the Chiefs did. I mean, yeah, they had a
Chiefs
return
really
and
struggled.
they're in the Super Bowl again, but they struggled.
There
through
was
the
a time
season
when I was like, are these guys going to miss the playoffs? The Chiefs?
Yeah.
Because
you
they were
just
struggling to put up 20 points in a lot of
yeah,
games.
there were drop balls. There was this. There was that. There was
If they didn't have the defense that they have,
yeah,
and I don't mean like they had a horrible defense. If they had had a middle of the pack defense,
yeah,
I don't think they'd have made the playoffs
right.
because their offense really struggled
Yeah, they did.
all
They
year.
really
Even
struggled.
though, I mean, a lot of games
Yeah.
you saw they were winning. 17 they'd score, or 20, or 24.
Right, and you saw
that's
that-
not like them. They were usually putting up.
Right, and you saw that, or at least I did. I can almost compare it to, well, when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl against the Rams, and the Rams won.
Mm-hmm.
The following year, the Rams didn't do squat.
That Super Bowl hangover, they call it.
Yeah, so to see the Chiefs come back in 2023 and have the season that they had, granted, it was a good season, obviously.
Well, a good season in its result.
They, in the end result. But to see their offense struggle and struggling to put up the points that they're used to putting up
yeah.
and not getting that, it was kind of maybe a mild Super Bowl hangover from the year before, not a full
I
on.
think part of what you see in there is outside of Travis Kelce, the other receivers really struggle.
Yeah,
Now, is that partially due to the fact that Kelsey's the number one receiver kind of thing and Pat throws to him the most? Or is it something different? He's used to being able to throw a ball to Kelsey and he gets it,
yeah.
and catches it, and these other guys may need it thrown differently. I don't know. I'm not an
I'm
expert
not
on
sure.
that.
I don't know
But when
either.
Kelsey was out, boy, they really struggled.
Yeah,
And
they
that's
did.
not a slam against Pat Mahomes.
No.
I think that shows you just how important it is having Travis Kelce. And here's my concern on that.
Yes.
He's getting old.
He's getting
For
up
an
there.
NFL player, he's, 35? 34,
Yeah.
35.
34,
For-
35.
For a
something.
tight end?
Yeah.
Well, Shannon Sharp retired at 35, and he
Yeah.
was an amazing tight end.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that in that 34 to 37-year age
range.
range, they're done.
Right.
And even some of them that did play to 37 to 38, that last year or two, they were only 80% of what they had been.
Right. And it's, again, not a slam towards them,
Hey, we all
but
get old.
I hate to say it, the older you get, the more your body's like, no, you know what, I'm going to quit.
I'm 48 years old this year. I know all about that.
I'll say it, I don't care, I'm 42. And my body says it too.
Yeah.
I wake up every morning, they're like, no.
Yeah, where'd that pain come from?
Right.
We didn't have that yesterday.
Yeah. But
No, I just,
I'm just hoping that for next year, it's overall for all teams a healthier season.
I hate to see injuries. You know it's part of the game.
Yeah,
And it's one thing
exactly.
somebody
You're-
goes out and they're out for a few plays, or they miss that game, and maybe they miss, or maybe
Or
they
you
miss the
miss-
following week because they're trying to get a pulled muscle or something like that back.
Something.
But when
other
they're out
than-
for the season,
I hate to see
I
that.
just hate it. These guys work so hard. You figure most NFL players have been playing football probably since middle school,
At least.
and then hard in high school.
Yeah.
So 4 years of high school, 4 years of college,
and now, into the NFL. It takes a lot.
It's a year round. I mean, we think the season, they start in August and
As
they
the
end
preseason, and
in
then they
January,
Yeah.
February. February with the playoffs and Super Bowl. You put all year there working out and they're staying,
Yeah,
staying
exactly.
healthy. They're still eating right. I'm sure they take some downtime. You got to.
Oh God, yeah.
That's
If you
7 days a
don't,
week for these
that,
guys.
That's a mental thing. You need to take a mental break.
They're traveling all the time. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not
and-
saying they don't have an amazing job.
Yeah.
They're lucky.
Travel the
But
country,
it's-
and now with the NFL going overseas to
And
Germany
making
and all this stuff.
Huge money for a lot of them.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with, them taking some downtime.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the off season, hey, I'm going to
Your
take
body
a
needs it,
week.
your
I'm going
mind
to take
needs it.
however long.
Spirit needs
But
it.
like you were just saying too, is like, yeah, they're constantly working out, hitting the gym, watching what they're doing,
Working with trainers and
trainers and medical personnel and things like that for
And the
injuries
really
that
good
they
ones are watching
sustained
game film and
Game film
and
from
trying
the-
to make themselves better.
previous years and things like that. Yeah.
Yep. So
So
I mean, to wrap it
that's-
up some, because we are getting,
Yeah.
36 minutes here.
Right. I feel as though that next year, my hopes are, like I said, healthier for all players on every team. Just more consistency. There was a lot of ups and downs,
It
and
seemed it.
but
Kind of a roller coaster. There was a lot of chaos.
there was a lot of chaos, and just have good games next year.
Yeah.
That's what
That's the
I'm
whole
sure.
point. It's supposed to be
I'm speaking
entertaining.
for myself right now, but a lot of people can probably agree. Good, solid games.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants to see.
Yep. And you'll be back this coming Saturday
Yes.
with a Super Bowl prediction?
Yeah, I am going to Saturday get a video out for my take on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
Wait until then and see if anybody, I mean, God forbid someone gets hurt in practice. That could change a Super Bowl.
exactly.
Mahomes all of a sudden falls down a flight of stairs and breaks his right arm. You just changed the whole dynamics of the game.
Right.
Or the
But
same thing can happen on the Niners.
I'll do the predictions
hopefully
on
nothing happens.
Saturday, and then maybe like Monday or Tuesday, come out with a reaction to the Super Bowl
Yeah.
as like a before and after kind of a deal.
And then you'll be covering stuff with the draft.
Yes, when
And
I
after
when I
each-
can, I'll be
each
doing
night
a
or
reaction
something.
on how the draft went
Yep.
and things like that. Because unfortunately, with work,
Well,
not gonna be able to watch
you could do
it.
for the next day. You could do what happened
the day, right, and that's what I was saying with
But
like a
and coming up
reaction.
to it, are you going to do one on like who you think that the Bengals might go for?
I think so. I've been seeing and reading up on a lot of things, and of course, across the ticker on certain things on ESPN or what have you, like with the Pro Bowl games on, is seeing
Mock draft.
the mock drafts, and I look up, okay, Bengals are taking this person. I look them up and see how they're doing and where they're from and things like that. So I'll be doing that more, and then I'll come out with another video on who I think.
I know who I'd like to see them get, but we'll save that for the draft one.
Yes, definitely.
I'd like to see them get this person, but they won't get them because they'll be gone too early in the draft.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Because I think you
And find out.
are going to lose some receivers. I'm afraid that you just are to free agency, and to have Jamar Chase on one side
And nobody really on the other.
and Mr. Marvin Harris Jr. on the other side would be a very interesting matchup for defenses to figure out who do we cover.
Yeah.
because
So,
that guy's
but
good.
we'll dive into that deeper
Harrison
in-
Jr. Harrison Jr.
in that draft video as to who we want to pick. But until then, we will see you real soon, and I will look forward to seeing more likes and comments and shares and subscribers.
Hopefully.
I pray.
She's got to earn your subscription, but she's working on it.
I'm doing.
She works 50-something hours a week, Monday
Yeah.
through Friday, so it makes it tough.
It does, but I'm still here.
Girl leaves the house at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, well, but I'm still here. I'm doing this. I'm loving it.
One quick thing is, after the draft, there's not going to be a ton of content. We'll put out what you can, probably.
Yeah.
But there just
Yeah.
isn't a lot to discuss.
Right,
Try
if
to keep up
something-
on things. And,
Yeah, if we see something that pops up, it's like, hey, why don't we do a video on
Yeah.
whatever? Get my opinion out there.
Maybe dive into some, more of the historical, not historical like that, but like some of the older games
Right,
on things,
right.
or some
Yeah.
of the former Bengals players, from back in the day,
Yes, yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
I'm just suggestions. It's up to you. It's your channel.
Right,
But
right.
then come
Preseason.
preseason and all of that.
Yeah, I will be.
Hopefully, hit the ground running hard. Mm-hmm. Come the regular season.
Yeah,
It's going to be a long wait.
yeah, it is. But we'll get through it.
Yay!
So until then, we'll see you
It's
soon.
only 44 days till spring.
Yeah, I know. But we'll see you soon. Come back and join us again.
Bye.
Bye.